Hey, it's me again after a couple days off. I'm going to count this as day 8, or the readings that I did on day 8. I'll catch up. Anyway, I was looking at Ezekiel and Daniel. I went straight from Revelation to Ezekiel and Daniel. Woohoo! I'm a glutton for punishment. I had a soft spot in my heart for Ezekiel, actually, because way back, it's not that long ago, when there was so much discussion and voting and, meetings and all on how the church should approach homosexuality, that one time when I was kind of tracking down some of the biblical material about that, Sodom and Gomorrah always comes up, or almost always, in these kind of discussions. And Ezekiel gives a straight-on answer. What was the sin of Sodom? And Ezekiel says, here's what it was. They had surplus of food in Sodom and Gomorrah, and they did not share it with the poor. And then he said, and you are worse. Because he was speaking to the Israelite people. So, wow. So, I kind of had a soft place in my heart for Ezekiel, because for his time, wow, what a prophetic, courageous prophecy to give. He was speaking to the exiles, and much of his prophecy was this: you were captured, you were hauled off to Babylon because of your sin, your love of sin, your forgetting of God, your child sacrifices. I mean, Ezekiel was just bam, 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 hammering the Israelites. And but then he shifted and he starts hammering all the neighboring nations too. So there's a lot of judgment in Ezekiel. But then there's this bit on Sodom and Gomorrah. But he ends up with several chapters just describing the heavenly temple, or the temple that's going to be rebuilt in Jerusalem. And it's just so affectionate and detailed, and even though, I had to look at somebody else's drawing of it to make sense of it, it just was a neat way to end. He ended with the temple and the holiness of the temple. Daniel's much shorter. Thank you. It was only 12 chapters long. And it starts out with stories. The best being Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who are thrown into the fiery furnace and are not burned. And it's a charming story. And there was, when Nebuchadnezzar, the king, looked in the fiery furnace, he said, didn't we throw 3 people in there? I see 4. Who's the 4th one? It was either the Lord or one of the Lord's angels. And then they came out. It said they didn't even smell of smoke. Yeah. Yeah. And then Daniel gets into kind of the apocalyptic thing, but somehow Daniel pulls it off without quite as much vicious anger. At least that's the way I remember it. So anyway, that's it. Ezekiel and Daniel. I'm outside here in the dark. It kind of seemed appropriate for apocalyptic literature, such as Ezekiel and Daniel.